What's up, everybody? This is the Runners Club podcast. I'm your co-host, Courtney. That's Ian over there. You know what I mean? If you're watching us on YouTube, great. Take a second to like, subscribe, follow us, give us love. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty situation, and we're starting over. So we have our guest in the house right now. We're just gonna jump into it, okay? And if you want to, and then afterwards, we'll get into our lives, me and Ian, because I know y'all be listening for us too. So, but right now, the star of the show is Jamie Campbell. So welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. The Runners Club podcast. I
Hey. We just talked about earlier that first of all, you're a listener, you're a runner, you're a mother, you're out here, you're doing a lot in and influencing so many other people around you. And we recently celebrated you for running 365 days consecutively in 2022, starting in January. So I mean, I can't even. I felt like when this year started, I was like, maybe I'll try. It's 5 days in, and I have already been here and there.
Here and there.
It hasn't been running every day is just So I
haven't even considered it. Haven't even considered it. I was inspired by your dedication and your commitment. That has inspired me. I spoke about it in our last episode, but yeah, no, I have no desire to attempt to do it. Hell no.
It definitely is a labor of love, for real. Like, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. If you are not, like they say, like motivation aside, like just being disciplined enough to say, I'm going to put my shoes on and go out for a run today, even when you don't feel like it. Especially because there were days where I did not feel like doing it. And that's hard, especially because when you love running, you love it. And then for it to become a job at some point or to feel like a burden, then that's hard to continue and say, yeah, but I got to get this mile today. Right. So yeah, 365 days of running and we're still going. We're on day 370 today. Because I did get a mile at least in the snow while it was snowing this morning. So yeah. We're doing it. We're still going.
Won't
stop?
Right. Can't stop, won't stop. In the rain, in the snow, in the cold, and the heat.
Yes.
I mean, the Midwest gives all of the weather. And I guess my question to you then is just like, how did this start? I know you said this was like initially a birthday goal. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I initially started this as a way to celebrate the fact that I was turning 40 in 2022. It's such a milestone birthday, especially the fact that, like I said, I was a little sad about leaving my 30s, but wanted to make this something more positive and say this should be a celebration of life. This is a culmination of the things that I know I still have a lot to do and a lot to offer. And I decided, well, since I do have this level running, then let's do a 40-day run challenge starting at the beginning of the year. And the start of it will be at least a minimum of a mile. Obviously, there were some days where it was more than a mile, but that was my minimum, at least a mile. And I'm one of those people, like, I like to run outside. I like to run in the street. So I got through the first part of this run streak January and February. So once I got to the end of the 40 days, I was like, okay, so what do we do next? Like, do we stop? Do we keep going? So I was like, we're going to move the goal. We moved the goal from 40. And I said, well, since we got through snow and deep, like this last year around this time, we had deep snow. Like we were snowmageddon at some point in January and February.
Yeah.
And I was still running in the streets. Like, yeah.
Wow.
We were snowed in and I was like, I'm going to go for a run in the street. They plowed down my street. I'm going to go for a run. So once I got
That's why I'm sorry, Jamie. I think never even considered how much of the treacherous running weather you was running through because like what you were doing and how you were doing it was so out on the peripheral of what I knew and stuff
Right.
like that. So, like, I
Yeah.
didn't become aware of your goal until a lot later in the
Yeah.
game. So to sit back and hearing you talking about it now, like in January and February of last year, it was dumb cold,
Mhm. Yeah.
consistently cold. Like it wasn't,
Consistent.
we didn't, we, when we got snow, we got a lot of snow, but it didn't even snow a lot because of how cold it was.
Yeah, definitely, because even though recently we got around the bitter temperatures, we had a lot of negative wind chill days in January and February last year. And I was out in these streets, like bundled
Hmm.
up with like double layers. I had on at some point I had on 3 pairs of socks, and like 4, thermal based layers because obviously I want to keep my extremities, but still trying to get these miles in these streets. So yeah,
Hmm.
it definitely took a lot of I would say trial and error to figure out what worked best, especially on those days where it was extremely cold. And then, like I said, trying to figure out once I got from day 40, like, how do we continue this? Do we move the goal to 100? So that's what I did. I said, once we got to day 40, we're going to try to get to 100. And if we don't, we just don't. At least we made it to 40.
Right.
That's a
Um,
big jump. That's a big jump.
I know,
You went
right?
from, like, a week and a month and a week-ish, give or
Yeah.
take, to, like, you pushed it out. You kinda
I,
'cause
yeah.
your what did you say? Your birthday's in July?
My birthday's in July. Yeah.
So it sounds like like, was the thought process, "I wanna get as close as I can to my birthday," because you were saying that, like, turning 40, getting into this new decade was, like, a big deal for you.
Mhm.
So, like, w I were you just like, "I'm just gonna keep it moving," or, like, what
I
was the
think
motivation?
just trying to break it up into smaller chunks, I think that's what sort of helped me and not sort of focus on the fact that if I tried to say the goal would be my birthday, which is July 10th, so around like 180, 190 mark, that's a huge jump to me to go from 40 to that number. So I think just breaking it up to say, and I like round numbers, like 50 wasn't enough because we were already close to 50, right, at day
Right.
40.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I thought, like, okay, I knew I would get to day 50, but I thought like if I can get to day 100, then I know that this is real, right?
Mm.
Right.
So then getting to the middle of the year, which would be again 180, then that would be like the next target for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's wild.
Right. I mean, well, when speaking of, okay, because I don't know if I talked about this in our last episode, but I feel like we mentioned you just like a little bit. And I
Mm,
was talking to Ian about, and if this was on air and off air, I don't remember, but I just was saying how like I'm such a big fan of um attainable, um
mm,
reachable goals.
mhm,
Because, like, when you put it out of reach, then you're starting it in the sense of defeat. What's your daughter's
right.
name? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
She's
this
like
is
your
She's
data.
like, I'm in it. I'm here.
right. "Hey, how you
Hi.
doing?"
This is August's friend,
Oh,
Jada.
Yeah,
oh,
they
cute.
had so much fun together at the heartbreak run last year.
Yeah,
It was like just two
Yeah,
peas in a pod. They was like
I
holding
love
hands,
it.
running around.
Same age. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes a
yeah,
lot
they
of sense.
are already in arranged marriage based on what my husband.
But yeah, like I feel like the attainable goals are so I think they're kind of underrated because like people start the new year and they're like, so many people start it and then they're like, I'm gonna go to the gym 4
Mhm.
times a week. And it's like, but if you haven't been going at all, maybe you go for like once a week
One,
and then like
yeah,
Right,
see how that feels, because
right.
you have to change your lifestyle to
mhm,
accommodate this whole new goal. And the moment you feel defeated, you're just gonna like backtrack to what you normally do because that's comfortable and you're used to doing it.
right,
So to start off the year and say, I'm gonna run 40 days, it's like, that's cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and also on another relatable note, like when I first started running, it was 2019. I was 28. Was I? I was 28. And my goal was run every day for a month.
Mm.
And so it was the same thing where it was like, I just want to get in a mile because I wasn't a runner. I didn't know what I was doing. Like and I did that through the rain, all that stuff. It wasn't the middle of winter, but I definitely was like, I want to start running. I wanted a hobby that could take me into my older age. And that was my start. So like, I feel you on
Yeah.
like the 40-day, 30-day thing and having it
Yeah.
just be, and in addition to that, having the expectation of only a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something where it's like, you could just get that done because even when
Yeah.
it's unbearable, you only have a mile to do.
Yeah.
You can
Exactly.
stop.
You can stop. And I wish I can go back and figure out how many days it was just 1 mile because obviously there were
That was
days
my next
more
question.
than that. I may it depends on how much time I have. I may do that at some point just to figure out like how many days was just a mile. But there are days where I say I'm going to do just 1 mile and I end up doing like 2 or 3 miles because that's what I felt that
Mm,
day.
mm,
And like for me, the days that I say I'm only going to do a mile is because also I'm prioritizing that day as a strength day. So that
Mm.
I can continue to get that in too. So
mhm.
yeah, and even like the day after I had to run a marathon, I did a mile, which is
Yeah.
like crazy to me, crazy. Cause like as we talk about the run streak going further through the year, like when I started this, I'd never considered that if I continued, then yes, the day after the marathon, you have to get up and run the mile
And
today.
HTC, don't forget
And
about that. You was
yeah,
there the day before and when everybody else was resting because we did our little shakeout run and then you was outside
running.
with Kara and like doing all,
Yeah,
and I was just like, what do they do? And then that's kind of when the challenge, the goal really started to come to
yeah.
light for me because I was like, oh, she's out here and I'm like in the bed.
Yeah, that was crazy to me too because I was like, "Okay, like, we gotta get these miles, like, how we gonna fit this in?" And so,
Yeah.
it's like, I know I have to be awake and be, like, driving you guys and be safe. However, we
Yeah,
still
and you were driving. You weren't even she
You
was
weren't
a
even part of the runner.
driver.
You
I
weren't even one of the
forgot.
runners. I didn't even
Yo,
realize that.
Yeah,
yo.
yeah. Yeah, so when it was our turn to go back to the hotel to rest, I was running. And so I was like, yeah, like I even got some miles in when we were waiting in between like the runner exchanges too. So I was running up and down the highway while we were waiting for the next handoff. And I was like,
Oh
okay, I
my
guess I
What?
have
god.
time. Yes,
Oh my
yes.
god.
The
I forgot that you were a
untold
driver.
story.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was by any means necessary at that point.
Yeah, cuz I mean, what by then we were in what was that August?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the end of
Yeah.
August. So, yeah, that's wild. And yeah, I just need to know. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but I just need to know what that Strava recap was like.
Right. You gotta share the
So,
Strava recap.
Yeah.
actually, I am glad that, I waited to the end of the year to do the update too, because it gave you, like, all your stats. So, for the year, I had 1,453 total miles.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, and obviously 365 because I ran every day, but then, I remember even last year, I don't think I got 1,000 miles. I think I was close to it, and I was just like, "Maybe next year I'll get to 1,000 miles." But every month, I should say, I at least got over 100 miles, except for December because I was sick.
Mhm.
But every month was at least over 100 miles. And definitely I have to thank marathon training for that as well, because I think in August and July was probably when I had the most miles.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was crazy to see that, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, thank you, Strava, for the highlights."
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
Strava should send a gift
I
for
know,
those who
right?
run 360. I feel like if I was
you should get a
like
membership for you.
community manager of community or like, partnerships at
Yeah.
Strava, I'd be like, so you're going to get a water bottle at the very least. You're going to get
You know
something. You're going to get some Strava socks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe a $50 gift card to get a massage. Like, I feel like you need to be celebrated in another, like in a real
You
male
know,
in.
so they did do like Strava awards or whatever, and there's a guy, I think his name is Hella, Hellah, and he's on like a 5-year run streak, and he got like the most consistent award on Strava. And I was like, of course he did. He's run like for 5 years
For
straight.
5 years.
But
That's
Right.
crazy.
for newcomers, I'm like, can I get that award too?
Yeah, to push you to get to that 5-year goal or yeah, they need to step up that. I
I
mean, I
know.
appreciate the year and the recap of the year, but Strava, if you're listening to this, do a little bit more because people like Jamie, they deserve some socks.
At
Not
least
the
a sock
outfit
or a
change.
t-shirt. Yeah.
Not the outfit change. I love
Jamie's
it.
daughter is showing off right now, y'all. She came
Yes.
out with her toys, putting it in the screen, and then she left and came back with the new outfit.
Yeah. This is where I spend a lot of my time when I'm not running.
Oh my God. So, oh man, like just listen to this, like even hearing it in this like palatable way, just it started from 40 miles to then, 100, 150, and then, slowly building up to 365 days, and you're still doing it because it's become such an integral part in your body, such an integral part of your day and your routine, right? So
Mhm.
then what is the what is the what is the recovery situation like?
That's a good question. And honestly, I would have to say I am not the best person at letting myself fully recover.
Mhm.
So in December, so recently about 2, 3 weeks ago, I was actually sick. I had strep, I had flu,
Mm.
and I was still
Okay,
running.
Jordan.
Right, like, and I'm not saying that, like, to glorify the fact that, you should push by any means necessary, but for me,
Yeah.
because I was toward the tail end of the run streak, I was like, "We just gotta do at least a mile, we gotta go do this."
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I do feel like I should have let myself recover. If not for this run streak, I would have been at
Yeah.
home just laying myself on the couch or in the bed, right?
Yeah.
But even outside of just being like physically sick, like just letting my body rest, like that hasn't happened. Like, yes, I use the recovery tools, the foam roller, the stretching, all that stuff, but like, I wish I had added, like, more massages or cold therapies, like all the
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely due for a lot of that stuff. And I am not the poster child for recovery, I should say.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime you wanna come down the last lap, we got the
The
boots.
boots,
I'm saying you
yeah.
just go online, book you a session,
I didn't
come
know you had
in.
that service. That's good
Yeah,
to know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's on the site. You
Yeah.
just go in, book it out. I know when you coming, so it'll be all decked out, already laid out for you, and you can just use it. The cold therapy, you have to go up the edge, but you can come to last lap and, at least get some of that boot stuff because we wanna make sure that while you keeping these streaks, keeping these miles, you are giving your body some time to recuperate, to be
Mhm,
able to strengthen this. Because I don't when you are ready to stop, I mean,
mhm.
to take a minute, I wanted it to be
Yeah.
because you felt like it and not because you had to. So,
Right, because I know, like, a lot of times, like, people have asked throughout this run streak, like, "How's your body feel?" And I was just
yeah,
like, "It's fine." Like,
yeah.
especially because, the first thing people ask, "Well, how are your knees?" And I'm like, "My knees are fine."
Yeah, but you
Actually,
said you've been doing stuff like strength, like, you've been
yeah,
Yeah,
doing these
yeah.
yeah,
injury recovery things, your legs, you've been bulletproof in your legs, and that's
Mhm.
mhm,
that's important part, and I think, having your moments of recovery because you have been doing it, but, you haven't stopped or anything
yeah,
like that, and if you need to at any time, Jamie, feel free to say, like, "Hey, I just need a second so I can talk to my child," like, that's perfectly fine, like, we both parents on here, like, I am perfectly okay with stopping for a second so you could just talk to her, give the attention she needs real quick, but go right on ahead.
I told y'all
Um,
it's not gonna be enough for her.
right,
Mhm.
right. But
Um,
no, I was saying like doing that, like I feel like this is a prime example of why doing those things are very
mhm,
important to be able to handle this shit. I mean, ultra marathon, like this is a super
yeah,
ultra marathon for you that you was doing every single day. But having those components where you was building up your body, keeping your body strong is really important.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say like so last year when I in 2021 when I trained for the marathon, I did have like a lot of um knee problems, hip issues, things that sort of like little small injuries. But this year, and I did go to physical therapy, but this year it felt different because I did know, oh, you have to add more single leg exercises, you have to stretch more, um, you have to give yourself enough time to warm up and cool down, like all those things, right?
Mm,
So this year I didn't have any of those issues, knock on wood. Like the only little thing that I did come up was right after the Chicago Marathon in 2022 is a small hamstring issue, but that sort of I went to physical therapy again and that sort of went away after like a month. So
mhm,
luckily for me, like even all the stress that I was putting on my body, it still didn't prohibit me from doing what I wanted to do, and it didn't take me out where I couldn't
right,
run.
right. Because that, I mean, that hamstring injury with, I mean, you did 6.2 miles. I mean, like
Yeah.
it could have been from anything. I mean, like you could have not been doing this and still had a similar injury from running 26.2 miles on
Mhm.
Chicago streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
but the fact that you was able to bounce back from that within a month because you were doing the things that was necessary. And I think I actually to put my thumb directly on it,
Mhm,
this entire time you were listening to your body. You know, I
mhm.
don't think any of us are saying that if you strength train, if you do massages, if you do all of this, then it's completely fine for you to do 365 days. That's gonna be your regular life. I don't think
Right,
that's what we're saying, but what I'm hearing from you is that you have listened to your body and you didn't ignore it. You gave it what it needed when it needed within the parameters of you trying to make this goal happen, you know?
right. Because I remember, just even with that hamstring injury, I was talking to the physical therapist because I was also deciding whether or not I was gonna run Indy, which is a month after Chicago. And
She
so
did 2 marathons during
I
this
Wild.
did,
time, man.
Yeah.
And she had
2
to run again
marathons.
after the marathon
Right.
twice.
I can't.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. When your legs are dead, like
yeah,
cement, like they might as well just be underwater with cement around your feet. Like it's
yeah.
And what Indiana marathon was all headwind. It
The whole time, like, listen, this marathon, oh my God. Like, first of all, so I did the half Indy marathon in 2021 after Chicago, and it was cold. Like, it was like in the 30s. And I was like, okay. So 2022, I was like, okay, we're in the 50s. It's not cold to me. It's November. So it could be either way, right? And this time it was in the 50s, but it started raining. And so it rained the whole time. Like there are people legit in garbage bags running this marathon. And
Mhm.
so
terrible.
I was like, okay, rain's it's not that bad. But then I think maybe after like 3, 4 miles, the wind picked up and it was like between 20 and 40 miles per hour gusts, like, and it did not stop. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
there are times like I'm literally trying to run up a hill because first of all, they said Indianapolis was flat. It is not completely flat. I I saw at least
Let it
like
be
4,
known.
let it be known, India is not flat. There were at least like 4 or 5 elevation gains that I saw on my Strava after the fact. And so I'm running up this hill and the wind is like running, like coming against me. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess we walking up this hill because I'm not gonna
Right.
use all my energy if you telling me like you need to stop
Right.
right now. So
Right.
yeah, like that one, I was like, okay, Chicago was like the best because we did not have any of these elements or conditions. And yet I only did maybe 3 minutes faster than Chicago, and it was just like,
Mhm.
I felt like I should have got faster, but we're gonna blame the wind and the hills
Right,
and the
right,
rain,
right,
all this stuff. But my body
right.
felt like I worked so hard for that 3 minutes, 3-minute PR. It worked so hard for that. Let me tell you, Indy.
That's amazing she was able to get a PR in those conditions. Like, I mean, just period. I mean, com comparing those 2 races, like, I mean, yeah, it was, like, warm at Chicago, but it was runnable at Chicago. Like,
Yeah.
where Indiana, like, that shit turned into, like, a Tough Mudder almost.
I feel like I was in um like Survivor or something, like, you throw everything at you. Like, here you go. Here are hills, here's the wind, here's the rain. At some point they ran out of cups for the water. It's like, okay.
Mhm. That's amazing. That's awesome. Look, congratulations to you on completing the 365 days of running. I to I'm still in awe that you are still going. Like you showed up. Like we came to your run to celebrate the
Mhm.
final run and stuff like that. That was really awesome, especially like what we met up at 92nd and Longwood, 96 and Longwood or something.
96, yeah.
What was it?
96 and Longwood.
Yeah,
Everett.
96 and Longwood, ran
Yeah.
down to 111 by Morgan Park, went up
Mhm.
past the library, came by like my grandmother's house was on 87th and Ashland.
Okay.
My house was on 85th and Sealy, and then the final house, my final place that I lived was on like 82nd Street, like between Tallman and whatever street is behind Tallman. So
Okay.
I grew up, my girlfriend, like my early college girlfriend, she lived on like 92nd and Longwood or something like that. Like this is all my stomping grounds. My
Yeah.
family's from what 90th and what Lina, whatever street that is. So I say all that to say that this is my neck of the woods. Okay. Like
Okay.
this is where I grew up, like all of those places I've been in, some of those
Mhm.
apartments that we ran past and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
this was all good. So to come back over there and run with you um up and down those streets that I mean at times we couldn't even ride our bikes over there in Beverly. Like we was getting stopped by
Really?
the police for just being on our bikes over there. So like that was beautiful. Like that was amazing. But then you get up the next day and come run with 7 on Sundays.
Yeah.
You didn't say, I did it, y'all. Like, hey, mommy's gonna relax. We're gonna lay up today, have a special breakfast. No, you get your ass up on January 1st and come run with 7 on Sundays at last
I
night.
know.
Like,
My husband thought it was funny because I told him, I was like, they told me have I had my behind at home. He was like, seriously? I was like, they were semi joking, but semi like for real.
yeah, I think I shouted at her as she was getting out of the car, like, take your butt home.
Go home, right?
Go home. No
You've
more
done
miles
it.
for you. No more miles for you. I am
Uh,
intrigued about doing it again. But I will say, because I've already made it to a year, I'm not putting pressure on myself to try to get to year 2.
Yeah.
I'm as we talked about earlier, I'm definitely going to listen to my body and figure out if that's something that I want to achieve, you know?
yeah,
Is there a part of you though that just like can't let it go?
Yeah, yeah, I think so because it like now it feels like, am I gonna have anxiety if I don't run, right?
Yeah.
Because
mhm,
I've done it for a year. Like I don't want it to be something like really serious where I can't run and say that that's gonna be the reason that makes me stop. Um,
Mm,
I just hope that for whatever reason I do stop, that it's for the right reason and not something that
yeah,
is like I said, something really bad. But yeah, it's um again, not trying to put pressure on myself to try to get anything done, no expectations to say, yes, we gotta get to year 2, we gotta do this. Um,
mhm.
because I have other goals that I want to try to achieve for 2023. I'm not clear on like strategy or fully what I want to do. So I don't necessarily want to say that that'll be a rush streak at this point.
Mhm.
Do you, are you gonna keep those close to your chest, or are you gonna share?
I'll share it, like, they're not a lot, but I think I'm still chasing after, a 4:30 marathon time.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
So Chicago 22 was 4:55, Indy, my 3-minute PR was 4:52. So I definitely wanna try to get to 4:30. And then outside of that, I'm not clear on whether or not I still want, um, to focus on a half marathon of, like, really, like, making sure that I get sub 2 or stay
Mhm,
consistently within sub 2 in the half marathon, or if I
mhm.
wanna focus on the shorter distances, 5K and 10K pace. So
5Ks are fast, man.
I know, and I think my personal best is probably, like, 27 minutes, 26 minutes, so
Uh-huh,
that's like a 9-minute mile pace, somewhere like 8:55-ish a mile.
uh-huh.
Um, would I like to get to 25? Yeah, but I also am intimidated by speed because speed works like, you want me to run 10 miles? I'll do that before you say, "Let's go run our fastest mile." I'll do that first.
I know. That's how I feel about, racing 5 and 10Ks. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, like, I swear, like, going fast gives me some kinda heartburn or something because 'cause I'm just like, "Why do we have to go this fast?" I mean, I get it in terms of, like, speed training for other distances, like, I get that. But, like, just speed work and track, like, it's something else, like, again, it intimidates me. I do it because I know I have to, not because I enjoy that part of the training part, so,
I love it. I love it.
alright, guys.
Look, she's like, "Okay." She was like, "Alright, I think we're done. It's time for Target.
Alright,
Here's
it's
my
Jada
toy.
time.
Open my toy, mom."
Give me 1 second, guys.
Jada, give us, like, 2 minutes. We gonna wrap up and you gonna have your mommy back.
Almost done. Remember, we're almost done. Put the scissors down. We're almost done. Don't open
So so you're okay, one, you're a GumboFit captain, which I love having you on the team. I just love just your presence and
this.
being able to support you at the end of your 365 streak was amazing. I wish I was there. But
Yeah.
seeing it from afar was really great. Do you feel like being a leader in the community has changed your relationship with running at all?
I would have to say yes, because it definitely puts more of a spotlight on you because people get to know you from being a leader. And I think
Mhm.
that, um, sorry guys. Later. I'm
Nah, you
sorry.
good. You
Later.
good.
I need 5 minutes, please. I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna open this. Okay. Okay. Does this help you? Okay. Now you have to give me 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Sorry, we still opening Christmas gifts over here.
Oh, that's nice.
Um, Sorry, I was saying that so yes, being a Gumbo Fit captain, I think definitely has helped me become more visible and more seen in the running community because I think that had I not been a captain, yes, I still would have been able to I think uh hold space within the community and meet new people and go to different events. But I think because I consider myself such an introvert, I think being a captain sort of forces me to connect and not in a bad way, but just be a little bit more uncomfortable within myself and say, yes, we're going to put ourselves out there. Yes, we're going to meet new people. Yes, we're going to do things differently in terms of just making sure that I present myself in a way that I'm approachable, I'm personable, and that I want to get to know you not just because you came for this run or came to this event, but just as a person on a whole wholesome or general level. So I think um, I am grateful for the fact that I do have this opportunity to be a captain because it I think for me is giving me the confidence to say, yes, I'm part of this community, but also, I come from it in the space where I didn't consider myself a runner. I always consider myself just an average person who just happened to love running. So, and as you guys talked about, I'm a mom. Now I'm a run streaker. So so being in this space, I've always reflected on the fact that I come humbly because I don't have a running background. I sort of came into running just because I was on a journey to change my life. I wanted to be healthy, and running just became a tool to continue to facilitate that. So the fact that I get to do this and be healthy and connect with people and do something that I enjoy, to me is like icing on the cake for all the things just wrapped up into one, right? Um, and I think that's what continues to like motivate me to want to do this every day because not only do I get to meet new people, I get to run with my friends, I get to be healthy for myself and my family, I get to serve my community, I get to run, and at the end of the day, that's the magic. That's the magic sauce.
I love that.
I love
That's just
that.
like a
Oh,
perfect ending to our time
yes.
with you, I feel like. So, Ian,
Yeah.
do you have any
Thank
other
you.
thing?
No, no, that was beautiful. I wanna tie that bow. I wanna tie the bow with that right there. That was beautiful. And thank you for coming on, Jamie. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you. Continue to go. I love having you come out to 7 on Sundays, come out to when Last Lap has our runs. When you became a gumbo captain, I was like, that's perfect. That's really awesome. Like that's a good spirited person that should be in a leadership role in a community. So I look forward to working with you, but also just watching your journey going forward. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. And, just I hope that for anybody who's intimidated to, sorry,
Mhm.
1 minute, guys. I just hope that for anybody who is intimidated to start running, just know that, we all start somewhere. We all start as simple as I'm putting my shoes on today, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I came to this as the average runner, and at the end of the day, like you don't have to be the fastest, you don't have to go the furthest distance. You just have to want to do something to change your life or do something for the enjoyment. And
Mhm.
I get to do both of those
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
I
There's more
love
to your
it.
story. I hope to have you back on one day to
We'll
talk
have to.
more about it. But the
Definitely.
kids, the kids have
Oh,
won.
the
The kids
kids
have
are
won.
they've won this round.
Yes.
Just
Let's
like,
go. All
yeah.
right, Jamie. You have a beautiful day.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
Peace.
bye.
Do it.
Okay, that was so great. Jamie is such a just like she's just the it was a conversation we needed to start the year off,
Yeah.
because it's like
Yeah.
she's an example of like setting a goal, pushing a little further, and then all of a sudden ending up in a place that you didn't even think that you would get to. Because
Hell
she
yeah.
didn't she didn't start the year talking about I'm gonna run 365 days. I'm gonna run
Yeah.
1,000 miles.
Yeah.
You
What
know?
was that? Like a Jay-Z impression or
Yeah.
what? You went for it. It's your boy.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. I love you. Oh my god, you are hilarious. You keep me on my toes, man. Oh, that was a good one. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for calling you out. I could have let it live, but
It just came out. I didn't even realize what I was doing. It was
I
just
love
like
it. I love it. I appreciate. I mean, after what she did 365 miles. I think we had episode like 60 something. I don't even know where we are right now.
365 days.
Like, no, I'm saying, man. I mean, I said like what episode are we on? You're on like episode
Oh,
60 or something like
okay,
that.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
But like, you comfortable now. You know what I'm saying? We here.
Yeah.
Like this is a safe space.
You're
You
gonna get
feel me?
all of me, okay?
Yes. Yeah. I love it, G. But uh since we had some technical difficulties, let's go ahead and tell me So, how was your day? How are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm learning. I feel like I've made the mistakes that I've needed to make in this podcasting arena where I'm not going to do it again. Like, I feel like I've made some pretty detrimental mistakes. Maybe not detrimental is not the word, but like significant mistakes. And now I'm one of those people where I'll do it once and I won't do it again.
That's
So
awesome. I wish I was that kind of person. I am
I'll
not.
learn. I mean, every now and then I do it again, but I only do that when I know I have people around me like Matthew to like catch me, like Matthew will catch me when I fall and help me fix it. But like, certain things like this, I've learned technical, especially we're not even at 100 podcasts yet. Like, I feel like it's going to happen,
Joe, like,
but we're going to get
but
there.
we so close
Very
to
close.
100 episodes, fam. Like, we
It'll
are
be
just
this year.
going and going and going, and it's wild, yo.
Why
It
stop when
is.
you can keep going?
It's like I don't even know. Like, I like, but it's similar to Jamie. Like, we started off with like, oh, let's try this out. Let's just do a couple episodes, see how we feel. And then like one of us read something that said most podcasts stop at like 12 or 13 episodes.
I was like,
Then we
bet.
got past that.
I was like, challenge accepted.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then we got past that. And then we finished out the year. And now here we are starting. I mean, well, we started halfway through our first year and then went through all of last year. And now we're doing it
Uh-huh.
this year, right?
Yeah, because it was
Oh no, we
it
started
was
last year.
2 marathons ago.
It was
So it
two
was 2
marathons
Octobers
ago.
ago. That's how I know, because we
Yes.
started right before the marathon in 2021.
Yes. So we've been doing this for like a year and a half now?
Yeah, and this is gonna
No,
be
yeah, somewhat.
episode 58.
This is crazy, yo.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
yo, okay. That's awesome. I mean, if I talk about my day, um, knowing this, I did the shortest tempo run ever known, the tempo runs. It was 3 miles total of running. I did a 1 mile warm up, a 1 mile fast, and a 1 mile cool down.
that's hilarious. What's the temperature out there
It's 30
in the
degrees
north?
in the Yes, man. It is currently a frosty 30 degrees. There is snow on the ground. Last night, a water main bust
Oh
in
my
front of the
god.
crib, so like half the block was like underwater.
Holy
And they had to
shit.
come out and fix it at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I woke
Wow.
up this morning. I was a little afraid it was gonna be like icy, but it wasn't. And I just did like a quick 3 mile run. Um, but I mean, this house is in full training mode. Um, y'all like get unsolicited updates on Karen, and I'm sorry, Karen. I know you don't listen to this, but I'm sorry. I mean, you know, hey, we're here.
She's a runner too. She's a part of
Right.
she's like, yeah, she's just a part of the podcast by association at this point.
Yes, yes, yes,
She's she's like the ghost co-host.
yes. That's hilarious.
She
But
is.
no, still the house is in training mode right now.
Okay.
He is, out there with the wind runners. Like she got up. I didn't even hear her get up this morning. She left the crib at like 4:45, 5 o'clock. I don't even know.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
With
because we
windrunners?
got to drive into the city to Montrose,
Oh, because
and she has to be
windrunners.
there at 5:30 in the morning,
Jesus
which
Christ.
I mean, would be awesome. Well, no, she had to be there at 5:45. I don't know. We have to leave the house before 5 o'clock in the morning
You
to get
left
there
with
on
her
time.
today?
Not today,
Okay.
but like
Most of the time.
yeah, like I am an honorary runner. Like when
Yeah, 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 yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
bitch training
Yeah,
with their
right.
ass.
Running around the track with them right next to him.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, like but she's up, she's moving, doing her thing. I'm out here running, doing my thing. We both getting up. We haven't really ran together. We've been pretty much running separately, but we also are in different places as far as our goals are.
Right.
Um, so it's been pretty cool. It's been a pretty cool experience this first week, getting back into running, getting back into the training, building up for all of the things that I want to do this year. I am sticking true to what I said. I am training based on my Strava, which is also one of the reasons why we haven't run together. Is because like Yesterday my shit was red. Like I
Do
wasn't
not
one.
run.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I do something else. Maybe I do some like some yoga or some mobility. Maybe do a longer mobility session. But I'm
Yeah.
keeping my strain down. And then today this bitch green, so I'm gonna try and do every
Turn it up.
motherfucking thing today.
Right. Turn
So
it up
like,
a notch.
just doing some variable training for as long as I possibly can as I prepare to
Uh-huh.
go into the street project and stuff like that. So I mean, this is uh this is fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm happy. I feel really good for 2023 as far as running goes. As far as everything else, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, where do I go from here? Should I just jump into myself? Because since we I just wanted to say again about the valleys and the peaks really quickly, because I just want to
Because
make
that
sure.
was so good.
Yeah, you know,
It was a moment
it
that
was a
you
nugget.
had, and it was so good.
And I'm gonna repeat it. It's not gonna be as good as when I said it earlier, but it's lost content at this point. So here we are, y'all. Thanks for sticking with us. I was saying earlier when in the original intro of this podcast that like, because this past month or so, like Ian was saying, he's going through some stuff. I'm going through some things. Like it's been like the last 4 weeks were just very unexpected, very just weird.
Mhm.
But I always look at it as a positive omen because I'm like, you can only go so low before you bounce back.
Yeah,
And I truly am a big believer in that. And if anything, I'm always just like, all right, we're here. We're in this valley. We're going through the struggle. But then once it's over, it's like, okay, I got that done with. Now, what is the positive, the other side of the coin have
yeah,
in store for me? Because I honestly believe like that it just is a telltale sign that some really good shit is about to happen. I was sick
yeah.
on my birthday. My caption was, that must mean this year's about to be a banger. Okay. It
Of
must
course.
mean this shit's about to go pop off. So I'm just gonna ride that wave and stick to that philosophy because I'm like, shit don't stay bad.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't stay
true.
down.
2000%. It can't. It can't. Do we live it was right there, and I got scared. I got scared.
We
It
live in
was
a world of balance, okay?
no, 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 no. I'm gonna go for this word. I'm gonna
Okay.
go for this word. We
I'm here
live
for
a
you.
very cyclical life.
Cyclical life. Yes,
Did I
you
get it
did
right?
it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what we live, and it's going to come right back around.
Every time.
And I mean, what did I say? What did I say when we first started? I'm like, it's a hill workout. You know what I'm saying? We just
It
building our
is.
strength and our legs, for this life this marathon of a life. You know what I'm saying? We're going a distance, and that's cool. That's
That's it.
cool.
And it also helps you prepare and be grateful for when shit goes right. Because
Hell
if
yeah,
everything was going right all the time,
hell
you
yeah.
would just be like, "Oh, this is normal." It's like, "No, I'm
Wait,
gonna
if
give
everything's going
thanks."
right all the time, am I really trying hard enough?
Nope.
Am I
Mm-mm.
being safe?
Mm, that
Is that
part.
what's happening? Am I pushing myself? 'Cause that's what the mistakes I make, you know what I'm saying? That's what things happen, is when you
It's when
push yourself, you go a little further, you get
growth.
outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
You feel me?
So, and yeah, I saw something the other day. Maybe I think it was Mike Tyson said this. I saw this on Instagram about him saying like, discipline, I mean, it's also about discipline too. It's just like, yes, I have the state of mind, but then even if we want to bring it back to running, it's like at the end of the day, you might have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the discipline to like go after something and challenge yourself, then one, you're not going to ever grow. But it's like two, you kind of start learning how to do things that you need to do and act like you love them. Like, there's days where
Mm,
I just cannot stand running, and I'm
mm,
just like, I don't wanna do this. I was literally explaining to Matthew's family on Christmas about how low key I hate running. Like, I don't wanna, I
yeah,
know this is a strong word, but, like, low key, sometimes somewhere deep, deep down in my heart, I
yeah,
don't like running, but
yeah,
I do it because it's like it's a necessity, like eating, like drinking, staying hydrated. It's like, to
yeah,
me, all of that is in line. I have
yeah,
to do it.
yeah,
If I wanna be able to sleep better, have less anxiety, feel more clarity, like, all those things I need to work out, and running is the thing that I've chosen to do, so I'm gonna continue to do it until I can't anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 2000%. I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, what I had already pointed out some of these quotes, but Karen has one that says, "Cultivate a deep appreciation for what I am doing."
Mm,
And it's I like the word cultivate because you have cultivation is you create to me, I hear the word cultivate and I'm thinking like you have to create an environment. You have to nurture something to cultivate it. And what you're saying just there and there is cultivating a mindset where you're getting comfortable with doing things you have to do that you may not thoroughly enjoy. I think what like Denzel Washington said something he said to his son. Was it? Oh, it was either Denzel Washington or it was Bill Cosby. It was one of them. I know polar opposites, but it was one of them. But it was like you have to do what you want to do before you can do. You have to do what you have to do before you can do what you want to do.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I mean, to bring that back around to running,
Mhm.
um, I don't know how actually to bring it back around to
I mean,
running.
because that's the thing, the running is you don't always wanna do it, but you have to do it if you want to break a certain time at your marathon or your next raid, if you want a new PR, if you want to finish a marathon, then you have to train, like,
Yeah, yeah, 2000%,
sorry, sorry, you have to sleep and get good
2000%.
rest and recover if you want your body to have longevity in this sport or just in general, so, I mean, it's all of those things, all of the above. I would say on a personal note though, I am really in this place where I feel not fully comfortable and like I don't really feel like I'm fully a part of like the LA scene, the LA, I'm
Mhm,
very much a newbie. I'm culturally
mhm.
different. I'm still very Chicago. I'm still very Midwest and I can't rub that out. That shit is
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a stain at this point. It's ingrained in my
yeah,
mind
like
and
you
body and
from the
soul.
Midwest, like that's
Yeah, it's
what you
not gonna
got born
go
and raised.
literally. And especially Chicago, I feel like the time in my life, specifically time in my life that I spent in Chicago, like that culture,
Yeah,
like the other day, I literally last night was talking to somebody and someone asked me a question. The first thing I was about to say was, it was decent, but I didn't say it because I was like, I don't know if they're going to take that the right way. Like, cause they're not from Chicago. They don't use that word in the same way. So, I
yeah,
mean, I don't stop myself all the time, but little things like that. But I'll just say like running in LA is a lot different. I'm currently
oh, man.
training. What?
No, like, that was such like, I get it, like, I ran through it and everything, like, "Nah, that shit decent though,"
Yeah, it's
like,
decent.
it's
Yes.
decent
Literally asked
means
me
it
how is
is
training going. I was gonna be like decent.
yeah, yeah, it's decent, yeah. Yeah. What the
Nobody says that but Chicago niggas. Like,
Nobody,
it's
nobody.
just, I had to remember where I was and, like, make a full
Mhm,
sentence.
like, what do you mean? Like
Yeah, it was yeah.
I mean, 20 it's training, running right now is fucking exciting. It's dope. It's beautiful. Um, I don't I don't have a lot of structure right now,
Mhm.
so be grateful for that, man. Because I don't really know what my group running situation is going to be like through 2023 because I feel like I'm training in a very different way than a lot of my run lot of the runners that I know run. I think it's very stagnant. It's very just I do this on this day, that no matter how I feel, where I'm just running based on, this thing. And I will be
Mhm.
doing different runs on different days and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what my group running will be like for 2023. How would I be able to fit it in? Also, trying to use this as a way to double down on my other goal of just being more intentional about the friendships that I have and the friendships that I want to develop
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, maybe inviting people out on runs and doing workouts together and stuff like that is one way of doing it. Um, and I feel like this is gonna be pretty to a certain extent uncomfortable because it's just I guess I'm also afraid of if I'm not reaching out and not trying to be friends with people intentionally keeps relationships on a surface level and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So there's not a lot of rejection there. But then when you try to go a little bit deeper, that opens up the corridor for rejection. It's like, like I
Exactly.
might some people that I want to be friends with might be like, no, I like us where we are.
Mhm.
You feel
Mhm.
me? So putting myself out there is going to be um really interesting, but I can't wait to move back to Chicago because I think it would also be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The commute will it's like, yeah, I can't.
I'm over it. I fucking hate it. It's I'm so happy. I'm just counting down the days to be back in the city. I mean,
Do you have a set time?
we looking at like March, April-ish and stuff like that. I think we about to start looking for places now.
Okay.
Because we haven't made a decision on whether we're gonna buy or sell. So,
Mm.
I mean buy or rent. So I
Mm.
think, that's a big decision maker that we have to do. Um, but I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But you know what? I did ask somebody, right? Because I last I went in the store, it's going through a valley and stuff like that. and I was speaking to because my goal is to reach out to some runners that I know personally that don't shop at last I point in the store and then just asking them why.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's various different reasons as to why. Like I'm a small store, I don't offer everything that everybody freaking needs. I'm not free feed, I'm not heartbreak or anything like that. But just trying to get a better understanding and stuff like that. Uh, I asked the runner, what did I, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Damn, what,
Did you ask them
oh,
about the podcast?
I asked the runner, I was like, did I do something? Because I mean, we got this podcast. Also, I be out in these streets just being Ian Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
Is
being.
it
I'm like,
talking
"What-
about is it me?
yeah, is it me? Like, did I do something? Like, and I don't know that I did something. You know what I'm saying? Like 'cause, like, I have so like, don't get me wrong, like, people shop at Last Act Corner, so people enjoy the experience. People that I know shop, friends, runners, all of this stuff, but I also know a lot of freaking people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know me, and I say that, with no level of ego in it, just people know me and know what I'm doing and say like,
Right.
"Oh, what you're doing is good for the community. What you're doing is good for the South Side." Da 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 da. But then they've shopped once or they've not shopped again. Like me and you were told, I feel like also people getting hella free shit, so they don't need to buy some of the things that I sell. But also like but some people like, oh nigga, like why you ain't here? And he
Right.
just, I was like, is it me? Like, did I do something? Like, did
Right.
I say something? You know what
Is
I'm
it
saying? Have
me?
I offended the wrong person?
Just
And
tell
he was just
me.
like, and that person was like, "No, like I haven't heard anything." Like no, it's like motherfuckers love you. Like people fuck with you. It's like no, so ain't nothing like that. But I say all that to say that putting myself out there more to make more intentional friendships and stuff like that is I feel like also when I will find out what people might honestly feel about me. Because I mean, you can't, no matter how good of a person you are, everybody isn't gonna like you. How bad of a person you are, everybody isn't gonna hate you
Right.
stuff like that. And I mean, there's a lot of people that I met over the last 3 years, especially since the running community has grown, that I'm like, that I really, really like, or like who are really inspirational to me. Like they energy, the way they move, the things they do is really fucking dope and stuff like that. And those are people that I want to be on like like friendship with and stuff, which
Yeah.
has been a wild thing to say out loud as an adult. It's like the schoolyard shit. Like I really want to be their friend.
Yeah, but the problem is you don't have an actual schoolyard. You have
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like the schoolyard is like the meetups for the run clubs, but then it's like, yeah, you have to we're all just like big children, right,
Yeah,
in a sense,
that
and so it's like but then you have to the whole approach of making friends has to switch up when you don't have school and you don't have because you know what I mean. You're not seeing the same people being assigned to sit next to the same people on a regular
Yeah.
basis. So it's like,
Yeah. Not
how are you
forced.
gonna make a friend? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So making friends as an adult is so freaking weird, and I learned that the hard way or like the most when I first moved to Chicago and didn't know
Yeah.
anybody. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then I started running 3 years in. But the first 3 years I was like, I don't know nobody. Matthew's my only friend. The fuck?
Matthew fake like running for like a year so
Yeah,
you
he
can
was
make
like,
friends.
right. I was like, come on,
He was like,
babe.
this girl needs some other friends.
He
He
was so
fake like running
annoying.
for like a good summer.
Well, he also ran a marathon like in 2017 or some shit. Like
Right.
2016. So like he had done it, but then he didn't train for that. And so
Yeah.
he was already like kind of a runner. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd run a marathon." Da, da, da. But yeah, as soon as he saw that I had my own friends, he was out of there.
He's like, baby, I just feel like this
Never
is
seen
your
again.
space. Like I don't wanna be just encroaching in your space. I feel like you need this.
He's so
It's like
annoying.
I needed this.
He's like, "I'm glad you have friends. Bye."
Oh, I love it. I love it. Our partners. But all right,
So
y'all.
that wraps
Thank
up
y'all for
another
listening to
episode.
us rant. That wasn't the direction that our
No,
original intro went
nope.
in.
I was gonna get into this after either way. Like I probably because I just wanted to speak my mind. Because moving to a new city and finding your community is not easy, and especially being a leader from one
Mhm.
city and moving to another. It's a transition.
But do you
So,
realize how many of our runners between 7 on Sundays and Gumbo are transplants?
that's what I'm saying though, is that but that's what this is the conversation I was having with Matthew, is that finding new friends is very difficult. That is why we were talking about how we believe that run clubs are so important and why people stick so strongly to the culture of run clubs because that's where they find friends.
Mhm.
That's where they
Yeah.
find a sense of community because outside of like the hobby groups, like going to happy hour is not it. You
Yeah.
don't you know what I mean? Because like, run clubs meet every week. There's a consistency to it, just like, like I was saying, like, with school, a consistency to it, like, seeing the same person on a regular basis. So it's like, you're gonna find some friends if you're
Mhm.
in a cyclist group, in a running group, in a rock climbing group, like, you
Yeah.
know? And so, like, that is why it's so important, but I feel like but for me, I would just say the differentiation is just being a leader of a group and then now not being but then now being a participant.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to have a different perspective than someone just coming in
Yeah.
fresh into a new city, trying to
Yeah.
find a community.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm too ingrained into the community to act like I'm a newbie in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
True.
the hump I'm on.
Facts. Facts. I get you.
So, anyways, yeah, I won't. That's it. Also, the mustache, it's giving. It's like
Is it? Is it giving?
it's like, I'm surprised. Are you gonna have it come all the way down?
No,
Have
as
you
we were
ever
sitting there
done that?
talking, I'm realizing like it's dark going down here, and I don't like that. 'Cause I don't want this. I'm cool with it
What
being a
is
little
that
dark
called?
coming across
What is
here.
that called when it comes all the
It's
way
a
down?
stash, like a biker stash. I don't know, like
It's like a
because when it connects, it's the goatee, but when it's
yeah,
just
but when
doing
it just goes
this,
over your lip and then down to the side,
yeah, I
that's
don't know.
called something.
That's some
And that's
biker
what I
shit. I
thought
don't
you
know.
were
I
trying
don't.
to
That's not what
get.
I want. So I see that it's still a little dark here, so I might go touch it up. Make it a little bit lighter. We'll see.
Oh my
Um, but yeah,
god.
I might
Okay.
I might just rock the stash for a little while instead of doing a full.
And
Also, like,
you've cut your hair down too, I've noticed.
yeah, um,
Is that
when
not by
I am
choice?
dealing with a lot, yeah, yeah, when I'm dealing with a lot of, I feel like you carry a lot of energy in your hair.
Oh yeah, that's what women do that all the time. If they all of a sudden blonde just bleach their hair blonde, they're going through some shit. They
Yeah,
cut their
yeah,
hair
yeah,
off randomly, they're going through something.
yeah, I am.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of
See?
negative energy at the end of December, start of January, and I could like sometimes like I get to a point where I just feel like things are not moving freely up here. And so my head needs a break. And so I just trimmed that. I just woke up this morning. I was just like, today's the day. And
today you did that.
I literally did that this morning. Cut it all off, cut it down. Also realized, your boy ain't that young no more. So we got to be careful with doing that. We might need a little finasteride in this motherfucker or something. You feel me? Like, but
he said, "Whoa!"
Right? I was like, "What?" That's exactly what I said. I'm like, what? What? So we're gonna see how long that lasts. But yeah, I had to get this off of my head. I feel lighter. I feel a little bit more limber, and I can really, really attack some things that I need to deal with and figure out. But it was just too much, and it just felt heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just cut it off. I mean, sometimes, you got to do that.
I feel that.
But it feels good. I probably gonna go right back. Slowly but surely. I'll probably keep it like this for like maybe about a month, and then February start growing it back or something like that. I was just really nervous too because I'm also hosting the Twilight 5,000 at Gately Stadium, the track race for track
Lit.
this weekend. So
Yeah.
this easily could have been a very poor decision.
Yeah.
I just had a really fucked up haircut at this race, and that would have been horrible.
No, you could literally, because it's gonna be cold, put a little beanie on top of it. You put that Pioneers beanie on your head.
That's exactly what
it's happened. A vibe.
It's a vibe. Right with the do-rag sitting up under it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It's the look.
There we go. That's exactly what's happening. But yeah, that's why
I'm excited to hear about the race next week. So
they have 300 runners. I was not expecting that.
300. Wow. Okay.
300 people running. I'm
wow.
Like, oh. I was like, yeah, because the first one wasn't that many people. And I was like, I didn't feel like that many people. And I was like, yeah, just send me over the list of names and the corresponding bids so I can get familiar with the names and not call people out during the heats and stuff. It's just a little bit more intimate, more personalization. And one of the guys was like, yes, it'll be 300 people. I was like,
sir.
The
hell?
I want to change the expectations of my services.
Right. I need you to know that's a lot of people.
Relax. But yeah, we're doing that. I'll talk about it on this episode. But,
okay, perfect. Well, there's another episode, y'all. We're approaching 60 episodes. If you've been rocking with us this long, we love you. Here's your flowers, kisses, hugs, XOXO. I hope your January is starting off well. Like, I hope, your goals aren't set too far out of reach. I hope that you attain them and keep pushing, because Jamie certainly did that. She's giving the example of where a goal can take you. So just keep pushing, keep waking up every day and trying and being grateful that you can do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't do it. You can do it. So are you going to choose to do it even though sometimes you don't want to?
Exactly. Peace out.
Peace.